Hi everybody! In our last few videos, we talked about analyzing public service announcements. But another option for you to choose for your rhetorical analysis essay is that of a commercial. We are all exposed to commercials all the time, and they're a great subject for you to write about for your visual analysis essay. So today we're going to be talking about three commercials: Lost Dog from Budweiser, 100 billion words from Google, and ultrasound from Doritos. So I would advise you to take a moment and watch all three of these and just jot down what you notice. What is working? What is not working? What strategies are they using to connect with the audience? So when I take notes on a commercial, here are some of the things I ask myself. Who is the audience of the ad? It's really easy to know when you are not the audience of an ad. Like if an ad were targeting somebody in their 70s, I'm going to be aware that they're not targeting me. Or if an ad were targeting men, I might be aware that they're not targeting me. But it's also interesting to pay attention to whether or not if you are the target audience. What is their purpose? Are they selling a specific product? Sometimes a company that's selling a product may not even showcase that product, but instead be selling an idea of who that company is. What's the tone of the commercial? Is it humorous? Is it angry? Is it nostalgic? Is it tragic? What is that overall emotion of the commercial? How do they sell the product or idea? Do they appeal to the audience's emotions? This could be done through music versus silence, imagery and symbolism, how they use language, like how they use a narrator, how there may be dialogue between characters, how they use written text in the commercial. Do they use logic, like statistics and facts and reasoning? Do they build their credibility? Do they do this by having celebrities appear? Is there a brand recognition? Do they have real people or testimony going on in their commercial? And then finally, I like to think about the structure of a commercial. Is it a narrative, like are they telling you a story, or is it organized in some other sort of a way? Let's begin today by analyzing Lost Dog.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. Just to be
Okay, so before I start to show the notes that I have on Lost Dog by Budweiser, think about, was this effective? What image stands out to you? What sound stands out to you? Just think for a moment. Okay. Here we go. When I think about what stands out most to me with Lost Dog, it's that dog. That dog is so cute and you feel so sad. You maybe even gone, oh, while watching this commercial. So we'll get to that though. So if I'm going through the order of questions I had for myself, who's the audience of the ad? I'm going to go ahead and say that when we have characters in a commercial, they tend to reflect who they want that audience to be. So they're kind of appealing to people who are everyday, hardworking, blue-collar Americans, or at least people who identify with that way of life, whether or not they're stuck at a desk. Purpose. What are they selling? Well, you may immediately say, well, it's Budweiser, right? So they're selling a beer. But you don't even see a beer until the very end of the commercial, and then there's the Budweiser symbol. I might argue that they are selling an idea. They're branding Budweiser as a hardworking beer that will be there for you. What's the tone of the commercial? So this isn't a funny ad. It's not an angry ad. It's kind of an ad that makes you feel empathetic for that animal and for the man who lost his dog. It's emotional, and then it's a little celebratory at the end. How do they appeal to emotions? This commercial is all about emotions. So we've got that old song, 10,000 miles, 1,000 miles. It was an old Scottish song. They've slowed it down and made it very acoustic and piano. So there's that emotional appeal there. There is actually a lot of imagery within this one. We have the Clydesdales, which are symbols of Budweiser. And we have that imagery of farmland in Middle America, again, trying to give us the idea of who this beer is for. There's no language in it other than, in this commercial, other than the song and what the song says. And I would walk 1,000 miles and I would walk 1,000 more. The biggest pathos appeal here is that dog. The dog is all about emotion. Is there any logic, statistics, facts, reasoning used in this video? No. How do they build their credibility? I'm going to argue that they do it through that brand recognition, and also the dude. He's, a handsome, burly looking dude. They're trying to get some credibility by having a guy that we would want to relate to. Structure. The structure of this ad is narrative. It tells an engaging story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. So here's the question. Would this commercial be effective with a blue-collar working class audience? If we were to make the argument that this is the audience, is this going to connect with that audience? Yes or no? And why do you think so?